The courtroom buzzed. Anticipation hung heavy in the air. Elias orchestrated this madness, preying on the vulnerable.
He pointed a finger at the defendant's table, empty save for a lone lawyer. The lawyer, face pale, nervously adjusted his tie. This was more than a trial. It was a spectacle, the climax of months of fear and uncertainty.
He promised salvation, offered sanctuary. Instead, he unleashed hell.
His words echoed through the silent courtroom. The jury listened intently, eyes glued to Adams. He was close, so close to a guilty verdict. Then a scream, a gut-wrenching, blood-curdling scream from the back of the courtroom. It shattered the illusion of order, ripped through the tense anticipation. All eyes darted to the source. Chaos erupted. A man, eyes vacant, face contorted in a silent snarl, stumbled through the courtroom doors. His clothes were shredded, revealing rotting flesh beneath. Another followed, then another. The undead horde had arrived. Panic seized the room. Screams filled the air as people scrambled for the exits. Jurors overturned their table, a flimsy barricade against the encroaching horror.
Adams, momentarily stunned, sprang into action, pulling a terrified court clerk under his protection.
The lawyer at the defendant's table, eyes wide with terror, didn't move. He sat there, frozen as the ghoulish figures approached. A grotesque parody of a smile stretched across his face.
He promised salvation.
The undead surged forward, a wave of decaying flesh hungry for living prey. Adams, pushing the clerk ahead of him, drew a small pistol he always carried, a last line of defense against a world gone mad. He never believed he would have to use it. 6 months earlier, before the world ended, Elias had been a nobody, a survivalist, a recluse, living on the fringes of society. When the outbreak hit, he saw it not as a catastrophe, but as an opportunity. He saw weakness in the panic, vulnerability in the fear. He gathered survivors, promising them safety, promising them a future. He spoke of strength, of unity, of rebuilding in this new world. People, desperate for hope, clung to his words. They flocked to his banner, seeking refuge from the storm.
He established a settlement, a sanctuary. He instilled order, established rules. He was a leader, a savior in the eyes of his followers. But beneath the surface, a darkness lurked, a thirst for power, a hunger for control. Elias, the savior, was not who he seemed.
The walls of the sanctuary, once symbols of safety, now felt like prison bars. News of the impending attack spread like wildfire, whispers of betrayal and fear echoing through the corridors. The once orderly community was now a powder keg, ready to explode.
I had trusted Elias, believed in his vision. Now, doubt gnaws at me. The fear in the eyes of those around me mirrors my own.
A group of men, faces grim, argued in hushed tones. They were planning an escape, a desperate gamble to outrun the approaching horde. Sarah, her hand instinctively reaching for the makeshift knife she carried, knew she had to make a choice. Trust her instincts or cling to the fading hope of the sanctuary. The night was alive with the moans of the undead, their chilling symphony drawing closer with each passing moment. Sarah, her heart pounding in her chest, followed the group of men through the shadows, their faces illuminated by the pale moonlight. Each rustle of leaves, each snap of a twig sent shivers down her spine.
We reached the perimeter fence, the metal glinting ominously in the darkness. One of the men, a burly figure with fear etched into his features, produced wire cutters, the metal biting into the chain link with a teeth-grinding screech. The sound, amplified in the stillness, felt like an invitation to the approaching horde.
Suddenly a blood-curdling roar shattered the night. A hulking figure, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light, crashed through the tree line, followed by a wave of snarling, grasping bodies. The escape route was compromised. Their escape had turned into a desperate fight for survival.